Okay, let's dive right into this. We're going to decode the top tech skills that are literally shaping our world as we speak. You know, if you've ever felt totally lost in a blizzard of tech buzzwords, you're going to want to stick around. We are about to make sense of it all.
Right? You hear these terms all the time. AI, IoT, cloud computing, robotics, they're just thrown around constantly, and it can feel like you're trying to read a map without a legend. But seriously, don't worry. By the end of this, you won't just understand the map, you'll see exactly how all the roads connect.
So our goal today, it's pretty simple actually. We're going to take that whole chaotic landscape of technologies and we're going to organize it. We're going to build a really simple layered model that shows you exactly how these powerful tools all fit together to build the world around us.
So, where do we even start? Well, you have to start at the very foundation. And this is the layer where everything, and I mean everything, begins: code. Every single piece of digital innovation, from your favorite app on your phone to a self-driving car, is built on this fundamental language.
Think of it like this. To build a house, right? You need a blueprint, you need instructions. Well, in the digital world, programming languages are those instructions. They are the core commands that tell computers precisely what to do, line by painstaking line. It all starts here.
Now, there are hundreds of these languages out there, but let's just focus on two absolute giants that power a huge chunk of modern tech: Python and C++. These two are so essential, but, and this is key, they serve very different purposes.
And really, they have two totally different philosophies. Python, that's your flexible, versatile all-rounder. It's the language behind your Netflix recommendations or your Instagram feed. It's just fantastic for things like AI and data science. C++, on the other hand, is the specialist. It's all about raw speed, which makes it the king for things like high-end video games or complex operating systems where every single nanosecond counts. Okay, let's move up to the next layer and see how this all builds. So we've got our code, we've got our instructions, but where does that code actually run? And how does it get smart? Well, that brings us to the infrastructure layer. This is the brains and the power of the whole operation.
First up, the power. Cloud computing. It sounds so abstract, but the idea is actually really simple. You're basically renting computing power from a global, on-demand supercomputer. Just think about how Spotify streams music to millions of people all at the same time without a single hiccup. That incredible scale, that's the cloud at work. It's providing all the horsepower.
So if the cloud is the horsepower, then artificial intelligence and machine learning, well, that's the brains. These are the algorithms that run on that cloud infrastructure. It's the AI that analyzes your listening habits on Spotify's servers to create your perfectly tuned Discover Weekly playlist. It's what turns all that raw data into a smart, personalized action.
Okay, so we've got code as a foundation, and we've got a powerful, intelligent brain sitting in the cloud. But what's the point of all this digital power if it can't interact with the real physical world? This next layer is all about making that connection, moving from just data to actual physical action.
This is the application layer, and this is where we bridge that gap between the ones and zeros of the digital world and the atoms of our physical one. Yeah, this is where technology really becomes a tangible force.
And this brilliant little cycle shows us exactly how it works. So let's imagine a smart farm. First, you sense. A tiny little IoT sensor in the soil detects that it's too dry. Second, you think. That data gets sent to the cloud where an AI decides, hey, it's time to water the crops. And finally, you act. That decision triggers a robotic irrigation system to turn on, giving the plants exactly the water they need. Sense, think, act. It's that simple. So, we've built a pretty amazing stack of technology, right? From the code, to the cloud, to physical action. But there is one more crucial layer that has to wrap around everything we've just talked about. This is the guardian layer, the one that protects our entire digital world. You know, as our world gets more and more connected, it also becomes more vulnerable. And that's where ethical hacking comes in. It's not about causing harm. It's the exact opposite. It's about thinking like a bad guy to find a system's weak points and then fix them before they can be exploited. It's kind of like how a vaccine teaches your body to fight a virus. An ethical hacker shows a company how a real attack could happen so they can build up their defenses. It is, quite literally, the immune system for our entire tech stack.
And there it is, our complete map, all laid out. You can really see how it all stacks up. You've got the foundation of code, the infrastructure of the cloud and AI, the application layer where it meets the real world with IoT and robotics, and then that guardian layer of ethical hacking protecting the whole thing. Each one just builds right on top of the last.
So the next time you hear these terms, please don't think of them as just isolated, random buzzwords. See them for what they really are. They're interconnected building blocks. These are the actual tools that engineers and developers and creators are using right now to solve huge problems and build our future.
Which, brings us to the final and maybe the most important question. If all of this technology is just a set of tools for building whatever comes next, well, that kind of frames the future as this massive collaborative project. So the question for you is, what part are you going to build?